Y'all make me giggle. You really do. I know y'all have seen about the Vatican and their portals that they're opening up on Christmas Eve, but consider that the Italian word for door. Like, yo, relax. And listen, as a fantasy writer, as much as a witch, I am the first to tell you I would totally love it if the Vatican were doing some crazy shit and actually opening doors up to like nether realms or something. But I've heard a lot about this. I've looked into it a little bit, and all it is, guys, is it's a 25-year periodical tradition, and it's based on the Jubilee years. So way back when, in the Old Testament, there was a thing called the Jubilee year, and what this was basically a soft reset on society. So, like, all your debts erased. If you had sold yourself into, like, slavery, because you didn't have any money to pay debts with, you were freed. If you, I don't know, had any land taken away or lost anything like that, it was given back, right? Like, all these... There was a time when basically the record was wiped clean, and that would happen, like, every 50 years or so. But the Jubilee here with the Vatican, obviously, the Vatican doesn't have legal power to tell the entire world, like, hey, all debts will be reset. Can you imagine, though? God, wouldn't that be nice? But they don't have that kind of power to look at all the governments in the world and say, hey, like, just basically anyone who's got debt right now, wipe it, right? They can't do that. But what they can do is do a symbolic, traditional thing instead of, I don't know, whatever used to be happening, right? And that's what these portals are. Portals, aka porte, aka doors. The doors that are being opened signify basically a call for reset, a call for forgiveness, for starting fresh, for starting over. And that's why it's very significant that one of the doors the Pope is going to open is a prison door. That is super important because in the Pope's own words, he's saying not only is this a symbolic gesture towards, the repentance of people who've committed crimes and, their eventual rehabilitation into society, but also a mark of hope for people who, are abused in jail, who are treated unjustly as prisoners. That's the Pope's own words. And if there's any magic here, where I argue the magic is, from an anthropological understanding of magic, is in the tradition itself, right? Is in the fact that this is a ritual. It's something that happens periodically with a lot of pomp and circumstance, a lot of pageantry, right? Like, just like in a Catholic mass where everything is just so and it follows a certain order and there's a lot of kind of show about it, right? With like the whole Eucharist and everything else. This here is a ritual in the literal sense, in that the Pope, through all this attention being put on it, through all the other, energy being put into this from not only himself but the spectators of it, he is focusing the minds of so many people on this idea of this reset, jubilee, joy, right? Starting fresh. And that energy is really what's fueling the magic. That, and of course, the magic of God himself, who all of this ritual is being done with, right? Because that is the deity of this religion that is being invoked for this working. So don't get me wrong, it's still magic, but it ain't like opening portals to hell and letting demons through and whatever other conspiracy theories people online are starting to talk about. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but when y'all, whether witch or Christian, start acting like the Catholics have some kind of back door to hell, you're showing your Protestant programming. Y'all take for granted just how culturally Protestant this country is, right? And while, yes, the Roman Catholic Church as an institution has a laundry list of shit we can criticize it for and that has done very harmful things to people, the superstition and the suspicion and the weird accusations against the Catholic Church for, like, doing all this kind of basically pagan witchcraft ritual is fucking Protestant propaganda, okay? It's Protestant prejudice against Catholics. Why do you think this country's only ever had one Catholic president? And even that was a struggle. Actually, Biden technically is the second, but the first was JFK. And that's why I said, whether you are a witch or a Christian, you're displaying your Protestant programming when you say stuff like that. Because, like, listen, I get it. The Catholic Church, right, in the aesthetics and all the pageantry, it looks very witchy, right, with the funny hats and the wizard robes and shit, right? But that's, again, to the point I've been making on this platform forever, which is that that's how religion used to be. That's what religion is. Think of any video game where there's like the wizard, but there's also the cleric, and the cleric's also like shooting spells and all this other kind of shit, just in a slightly different aesthetic from the wizard. The magic being done with this ritual, with these doors, is simply a ritual of like community connection. It's a ritual of forgiveness, of hope, of peace, of fresh starts, of wonderful things that has nothing to do with whatever freaking nonsense evangelicals say they're doing, summoning the Antichrist or some shit. Y'all are ridiculous. I'm not. But because this society has gotten so disconnected from the concept of ritual, just like as a religious tool, not like as some fucking new age witchy thing, y'all stay dearthly confused when you see it happen in official religious settings, which is what Christian witches are trying to impress upon you, is that, guys, this is literally just the shit we call witchcraft today is literally just religion. That's it. But anyway, I don't know. I keep seeing people talk about it and get way too up their own ass about it, and settle down. It's okay. Nothing crazy's happening. It's the same shit they've been doing for a bajillion years. Just sit back and watch the pageantry and have fun with it, okay? You're fine.